Tough-talking Chief Justice David Maraga is now warning judges and magistrates against unnecessary adjournment of cases, stating that stern action will be taken against those found to be sabotaging the judicial process. The CJ says the judiciary must lead in the fight against graft. But as the CJ was speaking at the Supreme Court during the swearing-in of magistrates at the Milimani Court, a magistrate hearing the NYS theft case was adjourning the matter to demand appearance in court of editors from 2 local dailies. Seth Olale reports.
Favor, bias, affection.
Just days after the judiciary was heavily criticized by stakeholders during the anti-corruption conference, the CJ, who has in the past defended the judiciary against claims of slowing down the war on corruption, is now turning the heat on his officers.
You must have seen the media reports in the corruption conference held at Bomas of Kenya last week. We were heavily and roundly criticized, mainly for delay and corruption. I urge you to take charge of your courtrooms. Ensure that you effectively manage cases and matters that are before you.
The Chief Justice told the newly appointed magistrates that their actions must be beyond reproach.
The office you have assumed today is an office of prestige and status, but also one of great responsibility that demands professionalism, dedication, impartiality, independence, and above all, integrity and accountability.
Maraga challenged the newly appointed magistrates to lead by example and change the current narrative that suggests that the judiciary is frustrating the fight against graft.
You find one court granting bond on terms, and another court granting completely different terms in the same offense.
At the Bomas of Kenya meeting, the judiciary faced a barrage of criticism for bending too often to the whims of suspects and defense lawyers, granting uncalled for adjournments leading to prolonged hearings.
The public are fed up with the kind of handling of cases where you are very quick to grant adjournments even when it is not deserved at all. We cannot afford to continue that way, and we are actually going to very, very keenly watch your management of the court cases in court. In criminal cases, I would urge you to familiarize yourselves with the bond and the sentence policies.
The CJ warned that the Judicial Service Commission will review complaints against judicial officers notorious for controversially adjourning cases.
We are actually going to very, very keenly watch your management of the court cases in court. In criminal cases, I would urge you to familiarize yourselves with the bond and the sentence policies.
But even as the Chief Justice was issuing a warning against adjournment of cases, a magistrate presiding over the National Youth Service Cluster 2 corruption case adjourned the hearing after editors from 2 dailies earlier summoned by the court failed to show up. Principal Magistrate Peter Ooko has previously cautioned journalists covering the NYS case implicating former Principal Secretary Lilian Omolo against misreporting court procedures, but it had never reached a level when an adjournment was effected. The case resumed after Daily Nation and Star newspaper editors showed up, but was adjourned again after one of the suspects failed to attend Monday's session due to illness. A prosecution witness who has been in the stand failed to show up as well amid reports that he is on official duty out of Nairobi. The appointment of 47 new magistrates bring the total to 500 magistrates serving across the country. The newly appointed 47 resident magistrates join 93 others already on duty. Now the newcomers will undergo a 1-week induction at the Judicial Training Institute before reporting to the various working stations. Seth Olale, NTV, Nairobi.